That knowledge, skills, attitude, and behavior are developed and maintained in order to engage in good professional, where resident doctors of SKIMS will be made aware regarding important aspects of patient care, and our objective is to create a supportive learning environment for doctors. As we all know that medical science is dynamic, and progress in medical science during most of the last century has helped to transform our healthcare and has improved quality of our lives. 21st century has seen advancements in technology in such a way that even the most intelligent mind would not have thought it possible a few decades ago. Now to commence the inaugural session, I would request our worthy director and ex-officio secretary to government, Professor A.G. Ahmed, to please come on the stage and grace the occasion. Thank you, sir. I would request our respected Dean Medical Faculty SKIMS, Professor Altaf Kirmani, to please come on the stage. Thank you, sir. I request our respected Principal SKIMS Medical College, Professor Rihaz Ahmed Antu, to come on the stage. Thank you. Now, I request our respected Medical Superintendent and HOD Hospital Administration, Professor Syed Amin Tabish, to grace the occasion. Thank you. I once again welcome you all to this wonderful day that brings together so many special people like you. Aristotle rightly said that educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. So keeping this thought in mind, I would invite an eminent person, a shining example of holistic, purposeful, and selfless life, lived in the true wealthy spirit, respected Medical Superintendent and HOD Hospital Administration, Professor Syed Amin Tabish, to enlighten us with his knowledge and words of wisdom.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La yastawi ashabul nar ashabul jannah. Ashabul jannati humul faizun. Law anzalna hadha al-Quran ala jabalin la ra'aytuhu khashi'an mutasaddian min khashyatillah wa tilka al-amthal nadribha lin-nasi la'allahum yatafakkarun. Huwa Allahu alladhi la ilaha illa hu alimul ghaibi wash-shahadati huwa ar-rahmanur rahim. والله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله ما يشركون سبحان الله ما يشركون والله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم صدق الله العظيم. कोई सलीका है आरिज़ों का न बंदगी मेरी बंदगी है, ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका की बात अब तक बनी हुई है. किसी का एहसान क्यों उठाएं, किसी को हालात क्यों बताएं, कभी से मांगेंगे तुम ही दोगे, तुम्हारे दर से ही लो लगी है. अता किया है मुझको दर्द उल्फत, कहाँ थी इस पुरखता की किस्मत, मैं इस करम के कहाँ था काबिल, हुजूर की बंदा परवरी है. शऊर व फिक्र व नजर के दावे हदे तायुन से बढ़ न पाए, न छू सके उन बुलंदियों को जहां मकामे मुहम्मदी है. तजल्लियों के कफील तुम हो, मुरादे कल्बे खलील तुम हो, खुदा की रोशन दलील तुम हो, ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका. बशीर कहिए नज़ीर कहिए, उन्हीं सिराजे मुनीर कहिए, जो सर बसर है कलाम रब्बी, वो मेरे आका की जिंदगी है. अमल की मेरे असास क्या है, बजुज नदामत के पास क्या है, रही सलामत तुम्हारी निस्बत, मेरा तो एक आसरा यही है. Respected Director, SKIMS, Professor Anger, Dean SKIMS, Professor Kirmani, Principal SKIMS Medical College, Professor Amtu, distinguished faculty, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. The accelerating pace of change in medicine stems from an explosion of scientific information and the need to blend this information into the art and practice of medicine. No greater opportunity, responsibility or obligation can fall to the lot of human being than to become a doctor. In the care of the suffering, the doctor needs technical skills, scientific knowledge and human understanding. Tact, sympathy and understanding are expected of the doctor, for the patient is no mere collection of symptoms, signs, disordered functions, damaged organs and disturbed emotions. The patient is human, fearful and hopeful, seeking relief, help and reassurance. This combination of medical knowledge, intuition, experience and judgment defines the art of medicine, which is as necessary to the practice of medicine as is a sound scientific base. In this era of technomedicine, doctors need to approach patients not as cases or diseases, but as individuals whose problems all too often transcend their physical complaints. Most patients are anxious and fearful. Doctors should instill confidence and should be reassuring but never be arrogant. A professional attitude coupled with warmth and openness can do much to alleviate anxiety and to encourage patients to share all aspects of their medical history. The ideal patient-physician relationship is based on thorough knowledge of the patient, on mutual trust and on the ability to communicate. Implementation of infection control systems, enforcement of hand washing protocols and careful oversight of antibiotic use can minimize complications of nosocomial infections. No problem is more distressing than that presented by the patient with an incurable disease, particularly when premature death is inevitable. What should the patient and the family be told? What measures should be taken to maintain life? What can be done to maintain the quality of life? How is death to be defined? How much is told should depend on the individual's ability to deal with the possibility of imminent death. Often this capacity grows with time and, whenever possible, gradual rather than abrupt disclosure is the best strategy. The practice of medicine is dependent on the sum total of the medical knowledge, which in turn is based on an unending chain of scientific discovery, clinical observations, analysis and interpretation. There is a strong need to link research practice. Evidence-based medicine is the integration of best research evidence with clinical expertise and patient values. Public expectations of medicine are very high. Good medical education demands a useful match with the healthcare system. The doctor of the new millennium should be able to be a caregiver, communicator, decision maker, community leader, and a manager. Residency is a successful endeavor and has been reported to be a cause of burnout, anxiety, depression, and other psychosocial problems as a result of increased expectations and responsibilities, because residents are expected to be proficient clinicians, educators, researchers, and administrators at the end of the training. Although some level of the stress is not harmful and little bit of the stress is necessary for motivation, high perceived levels of stress is dangerous. In modern society, constantly engaged in technological improvement, information superhighway, consumerism and commercialization. Medical profession is becoming a prisoner of market structure. Solution lies in the faith and mutual trust. There is need to reduce market element by adopting a holistic approach to restoring social, cultural and ethical elements in healthcare. It is actually a wonderful time. You are finally encountering patients, you mean residents. There are new situations and other environments and you are trying to learn the system. It is exciting and rewarding too. It's also frightening. But when you meet people and get to help them, it gives you a wonderful feeling of fulfillment. It is a scary thing. You don't want to do anything wrong. The Hippocrates oath says, do no harm. The best moments in the life of a doctor are cry of a newborn, the sound of restarting heartbeat when resuscitating a patient, waking up of a comatose patient, the genuine thank you of a patient relieved of pain, stress and illness. When you are sick, you need doctors and nurses. You need their attention, their patience, their humanity. Yet, one large study of nearly 7,000 doctors found that more than half of them reported at least one symptom of burnout. This same study showed declining satisfaction with work-life balance. The nearer doctors or to the point of care of the patients, the worse burnout gets. Confidence in one's own worth or abilities, self-respect, self-esteem define morale. Today, morale is low. The core cause of morale problem is the commodification of the healthcare. In November 2016 issue of the Lancet, there is a beautiful analysis of the present-day health system. I quote, doctors are disillusioned by the absence of the affirmation for the values and relationships that sustain their sense of purpose, need enlightened leaders who recognize that medicine is a human endeavor and not an assembly line. Public sector hospitals are for the people, of the people, and by the people, and so are we. We should work as a team, as no hospital could function properly without the support of one and all associated with it. In many ways, the most innovative idea is the notion of preparing our residents and postgraduates in a principal clinical experience where they can be mentored, shepherded and assisted along a pathway of professional and scientific learning in a clinical setting in which they can feel a closer attachment to the faculty and a closer loyalty to the institution in which they are working. Residency is an intense experience that comes at a time in life when most new doctors are relatively young and still evolving their adult characters. Resident doctors are the direct interface of a teaching hospital with the patients, and their inputs can critically determine the outcome of care. Dear young fellows, this is the time of hope. A culture of development has to be created out of the diversity of human experience. एक चिंगारी तूफान में राह दिखाती है, एक चिंगारी सागर में उबाल लाती है, एक चिंगारी अंधेरों को जीना सिखाती है. Global excellence in education calls for innovative curriculum to helping our postgraduates develop a global competitive edge. In research, global excellence involves recruiting academic and professional talent, encouraging and supporting the creation and dissemination of knowledge with global influence, as well as fostering a vibrant research culture. Thomas Edison, the General Electric Company, he was the founder, also known as GE. I'll quote him, he had more than 1,000 patents to his name, apparently more than anyone else. Isn't it ironic that someone who was deaf invented the phonograph, the first machine that could record and reproduce sound. Let me quote Edison's famous saying, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Perspiration is commonly associated with working hard. What drives people to work hard? Is it the carrot, the stick, or both? How long can hard work be sustained by carrots and sticks? An easy answer is for as long as they last. Yet we notice that many people, including Edison, work painstakingly well beyond the kind of motivation that was attributed to carrots and sticks. In our journey to learn, discover and serve, it is important to persevere because inevitably we encounter failure. In this journey, failure is not fatal. Surrendering to the failure is. The medical profession needs to evolve, as it always has, to ensure that the practice of medicine remains of relevance to the society it serves. However, despite these changes, core values such as caring and compassion remain central to the practice of the medicine and are the profession's greatest assets. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Work is love made visible. I remember when medicos in Bosnia could perform surgical interventions under the candlelight. We with better resources, difficult circumstances notwithstanding, can work wonders. Life is a race against time. It must make a contribution. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. We will be judged the way we judge. The secret of life is to have a mission, something you devote your entire life to, every minute of the day, for your whole life. Once a man was planting a tree, an old man, and somebody asked him for whom he was doing so, when he cannot himself enjoy the benefit. He replied, "I have been enjoying the shade of a tree which someone else had planted, and the future generation will enjoy the shade of the tree I am planting." Nothing remains same for long. Structures of the society and institutions change. Our action of yesterday lay the basis for tomorrow. We have had an impeccable past that now heralds the beginning of a brilliant future. To achieve something in life, it is the high skies you have to yearn for. Aristotle famously said, "Excellence is not an act but a habit." On culture, a much more contemporary definition goes like this: culture is what people do when no one is looking. Taken together, a culture of excellence is deeply rooted habit of mind, a strong instinctive desire to stretch, to do even better. At SKIMS, there are no walls around minds, no walls to ideas, no walls to talent, and no walls between discovery, transfer, and application of knowledge. The quality of the work and the quality of the worker are inseparable. Excellence comes when the performer takes pride in doing his best. Every job is a self-portrait of a person who does it. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, 'Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well.'" SKIMS is advancing excellence in healthcare. We should focus on quality. Putting patients first is the key to improving the quality of healthcare. There is the saying of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, indeed Allah likes that whoever does a job, he should do it perfectly. Every human being is a viceroy on this planet, created for a definite purpose. We are part of the big picture. Albert Einstein was once asked, why are we here? He replied, if the universe is an accident, we are accidents. But if there is meaning in the universe, there is meaning in us also. Knowledge, had it not been passed along, would have died. Our greatest responsibility is to pass on the legacy that the coming generations can be proud of. We should pursue excellence in our distinctive areas of strength and realize our potential. We have what it takes to seize the opportunities and rise to the challenges ahead. Let us remain steadfast and resolute. We will stay the course. We have great responsibilities. To the medical community and to the patients and to the public, all of us serve. Let us rise to the responsibilities of the new world, a brave new world that is united against disease, poverty and corruption. A world that we can pass on to our progeny with the knowledge that we rule to the responsibilities of this new age. We should give this society all we have: our imagination, courage, initiative, insight and skills. Our dreams have to be bigger, our efforts have to be greater. There is a whole lot to gain. Providing low-cost treatment to the patients remains our goal, and we will continue to abide by it, even at a time when healthcare throughout the country is going through a stage of metamorphosis. Personally, if I get ill, I cannot go and afford treatment in a high-tech private hospital. So if I can't, how can 80% population will? It is good for those who can afford, and the truth is, majority of people cannot. Our endeavor would be to make SKIMS as an intellectual destination and a transformative education hub through ideas that challenge and change the world. I conclude my speech with two couplets for my dear residents and postgraduates. इस बार भी बारिश खूब हुई और बादल टूट के बरसा था। गलियां कूचे जल थल थे पर सोच का दरिया प्यासा था। बंद दरवाजों के शीशों पर जब बूंदों ने दस्तक दी, एहसास हुआ तुम आए हो, अंदाज तुम्हारे जैसा था। God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your golden words. Now, I'm going to call upon the dais a pleasing personality, a forward-looking man. He's a dynamic clinician as well as an administrator. Our respected principal, SKIMS Medical College, Professor Riyaz Ahmed Undu.
Esteemed Director SKIMS, Professor A.G. Anders, Professor Kimani Saab, our respected Dean, and our energetic medical superintendent, Professor Amit Avish, a galaxy of renowned and eminent professors of this tertiary care institute sitting in front of me, a galaxy of doctors, residents from this institution as well as its sister concern, SKIMS Medical College. It's a moment of honor and delightful moment for me to have an occasion to speak to you. The SKIMS, under the dynamic convenership of Professor Tavish, is organizing a CME here on the health challenges in the 21st century. All of us are aware of the fact that SKIMS, a tertiary care hospital, is not known nationally, it's internationally known for its tertiary care. But the challenges the people are facing in the 21st century is not only secondary and tertiary care, but some focus has to be given to the primary care. because there's evidence that the countries which have improved their primary care have been able to reduce the cost of their healthcare. They have been able to reduce the inequalities in the population about health and improve services. If primary care is also focused, this institution can take a lead. If primary care is also focused, it can definitely tackle the problems of communicable diseases like AIDS, like hepatitis, tuberculosis. The primary care is the key to its control. Not only this, the lifestyle is such that many non-communicable diseases which are directly or indirectly related to increased incidence of smoking, lack of exercise, diet habits, obesity, like cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and some respiratory diseases. They can also be tackled if primary care is strengthened, particularly by a tertiary care institution. So these challenges in the 21st century have to be addressed. Since there is a modernization, treatment modalities have improved, diagnostic tools have improved, early detection would be an important focus in future. As early as a disease is detected, the treatment modalities can be addressed well in time with good response. So whatever will be deliberated in the CME, it will be very good for the juniors, for the seniors, for everybody, because in life we have to learn till we die. So I'm very happy that SKIMS has organized the CMC and we are part of it, and I wish the organizers a very great success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our respected team faculty, Professor Altaf Kripali, is a proactive and a positive personality. Being an emancipated person by nature, he has an integrated and holistic approach towards work. Now, I invite you, sir, to please come on the dais and enlighten us with your golden words.
Esteemed Director, Professor A.G. Anger, Professor Sayyidin Tavish, Medical Superintendent and HOD Hospital Administration, and organizer of today's CME, Professor Riyaz Mundu, Principal Medical College, SKIMS Medical College, Memina, respected friends, colleagues, I welcome you to today's CME program. Actually, the program has been for the resident staff, but unfortunately, I see just my contemporaries here, the senior faculty, the senior nursing staff, and paramedical colleagues. There are hardly few residents. This program has been arranged to present the changing problems in 21st century medical care. We are all familiar of a word called family doctor. He was a person who was the most important person in every family, and trustworthy, reliable. But over the years, the trend has changed. The word has lost its significance. And there are many varied reasons for that. The medical professionalist should strive hard to restore the mutual trust and respect that was existing earlier between a doctor and a patient. Even today, medical profession continues to be the noblest of all professions. And any person aspiring to be a medical professionalist must have a desire to serve his community. Among all the professional
educational streams, the medical stream stands apart, as besides imparting knowledge, it transfers the skill of life-giving, life-saving, and life rejuvenation. While imparting the medical education, training, and acquiring skills while we are working, we should be aware of changing health care delivery needs. The changing needs, expectations are of extreme importance, especially the increasing workload has to be kept in the mind. We have to identify our useful and strategic measures to address to these needs. Simultaneously, while delivering the care, we have to be extremely careful vis-a-vis the clinical approach to our patients, the doctor-patient relationship, and how do we communicate with them. After all, they are human beings. We can be also patient one day. While rendering our services, the problem has erupted known as medical legal issues. We have to be very careful in this aspect also. And regarding this, our documentation right from casualty, accident and emergency services, from the OPD up to the time the patient is discharged, or we write a death certificate unfortunately for a patient, we have to be very, very careful. There's a galaxy of reputed consultants who will be delivering lecture today, and I hope the residents turn up and they attend this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Finally, a man of distinction, our worthy director and ex-officio secretary to government, Professor A.G. Ahangar, role model of hard work, his ambition, optimism and vision continues to shape our institution in a positive direction. So please come on the dais and address the learned gathering.
Professor Altaf Kirmani, Dean, Faculty of Medicine, Professor Said Amin Tavish, Head of Hospital Administration, Medical Superintendent, the convener of this program today, Professor Riaz Unto, Principal of our SKIMS Medical College, Bemina, distinguished heads of the departments, esteemed faculty members of SKIMS and the college, the faculty of Nursing College, Paramedical College, students, scholars, nursing personnel, technologists, paramedical employees, all the esteemed friends here, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, adab. Don't be disappointed when I said Assalamu alaikum to Dr. Sham, because I didn't want to discriminate. Dr. Shaista, thank you very much. I was happy to see that you started on the note Ahista, but then you have gathered momentum. I do not deserve all what you said about me, neither am I of that caliber or stature. However, it's a customary function. I'm supposed to play my role in part. I feel very happy to be amongst you once again, just to be on the front line for one important goal, that's our patient care. Next to the patient care comes academics and research that I have been always talking of and emphasizing, which is a matter of concern so far as this institution is concerned, because we always talk of this institution as not the hospital alone, which is giving the tertiary care, but the hostel plus the academics and the research part and the training and teaching, making it a university. When we are aspiring for a university status, we need to be imparting education at that level and imparting the training at that level. And when we are talking of the university, and we are the teachers of the university, we have to raise our bar, we have to raise our standards of education as well. I will straight away go to the theme of this program, which is the medical practices in the 21st century, where the role of a doctor, the paramedic, the nurse, or any other sportive person is of paramount importance. There's no second thought about that. I would like to address this gathering for two important concerns that I have. Primarily, this hall Auditorium full with the residents for whom this program is, but I am